Hey, Peace Tribe, it's your girl Toa. We're going to do some oracle cards. We're going to get some oracle messages from the Lemurian deck. Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for being here. I'm going to read the full passage in these. Okay? The first card we got is called Full Spectrum. Okay, let me adjust this light. Okay. Creating heaven on earth by honoring the perfection of nature's cycles. Going beyond the judgment of good and bad. The merging of duality. Raw nature. Earth wisdom. Connecting to ancestors. Shadows as the fertile soil for exponential growth. The way forward is in the whisperings of the land, honoring the full spectrum of life. What does heaven on earth look like to you? Do you imagine lush green nature, ancient forests, pristine branches, crystalline water systems, and all the planet's residents in full health, living in harmony with each other? And yet nature in its purest, rawest form is a balance of life and death, growth and decomposition, the eaters and the eaten, the one way or another. This is the natural flux of life. We already live in Eden, but our efforts to own and segregate bring us further away from this paradigm. Power trips, the need for imagined security, fear or avoidance of the shadow keep us out of our freedom. The need to persevere and hold on tightly only stunts our growth and leaves us drowning in a sea of plastic. The real disease on earth, the barrier of Eden, is in our minds. Life happens, but it is our perception of good and bad and our black and white judgments that prevent us from seeing the grander truth. When duality becomes one, we will find Shambhala before us. Perhaps we can find inspiration from nature and the animal kingdom. Does the tiny frog spend its days anxious over its vulnerable future? What happens when we realize fertile compost greets us as we allow ourselves to transmute our pain? When we honor all that came before our roots, our nourish, and we grow with more vitality, vibrancy, and life force, we can anchor more light for the collective and in turn seed new growth. What happens when we realize the keys to our future are in the wisdom of the earth and the dreamings of the indigenous? That the answers are in the geometry of the macro and microism, the nurturing embrace of oneness in Mama Nature's arms? What happens when we find peace within the full spectrum of life? Even the notion of separation, this disease, can be symbolized as no more than a blackened leaf on a healthy tree. The ebb and flow of our evolution and de-evolution is a temporary blip in the universe. The message is to be what we can, to ground heaven on earth, but not out of fear. We often try to avoid or run from negative, quotation, situations. But when fear steers our decisions and actions, far more devastation can result. When we choose to let our hearts lead us away from stories and outdated patterns, our challenges become the fertile compost that feeds our ascending tendrils as they reach to the heavens and ground its light back on earth. Step out of the black and white mentality of judgment. Go beyond the concepts of good and bad. This card invites you to honor the full spectrum of life and find a new way of perceiving your situation. When we judge something, we create a story around it. These stories often create limitation. Subconsciously, we gather so many of these stories over a lifetime. To heal our dis-ease and crystallize the new way, we need to create a space of no story where miraculous healing can happen. We need to create a space of no story where miraculous healing can happen. This space empowers us to be all we are and allows us to know our truth. Okay. Embrace the full spectrum of creation in all her colors and the raw, muddy, earthbound shadow parts of a situation to determine whether they are actually bad or if stories you have held onto are limiting your perspective. Unique gifts. Number 55. Your superpowers, a sense of purpose, the meaning behind your quirks, exploring your interests, shortcomings as unique, undiscovered skills. I passionately believe that we all have gifts to bring to the world. If we all did what we truly excelled in and enjoyed, our talents and abilities would enable our communities and our planet to thrive. What would the world be like if each person contributed from a place of overflowing enjoyment without obligation? Where would we be if the jigsaw puzzles came together for a diverse and complementary reality, free from prejudice or competition? Some of us have already discovered or remembered what we feel we are here to do. Others are still seeking or just starting to consider this idea. Your imagination may come as a message in a vision or dream. It may be something others have recognized in you for a long time. It may come from deep resonance with something you are yet to try. You may be concerned it will affect or transform your current lifestyle. Your gift or purpose may be something you enjoyed immensely as a child, but did not bring into your adult life. Perhaps there is an array of shoulds holding you from what you love doing. When there is enjoyment in what you do, you can give more to it, way beyond your usual capacity. It lights you up when you think or talk about it, and you need less in your life as you are fulfilled through doing it. When you don't do it, you might feel ungrounded or low in energy. If you haven't connected with your purpose, look at quirks in what they are telling you. You may struggle with some things because your mind works differently in these areas. Things you may have considered shortcomings might be the qualities that enable your gifts. This writer, I struggle with dyslexia and my synesthesia is so strong. Excuse me if I'm saying that word wrong. I'll spell it to you. I'll spell it to my grammar trolls. Synaesthesia. Is so strong that there was always a process of translation when I went outside, learned or socialized communication. I had to decipher concepts and thoughts from luminescent abstract images that amplified the more energy there was behind them. It was quite frustrating as I felt it made me seem unintelligent. The words I could muster felt inferior to the information I was experiencing. The time it took to translate much more loss, so I would often give up mid-sentence. However, this non-linear way of navigating reality was perfect for energy healing and transversing realms. When I discovered painting, these skills were even more helpful. I then realized I could explain everything in a visual way that included the flow and color of a feeling, and somehow people all over the world seemed to understand. And this is the picture that she drew with this card. What makes you unique? Any quirks that you feel or shortcomings could be the key to your superpowers. Look for the positive sides of your oddities and traits. How would you like to spend more time? Are there things you would like to try or feel a pull to explore? Now is the time to follow these whispers. You never know how transformational they can be. So the next card is number 44. Shine your light. Doing what you love. Time to thrive. Giving from the overflow. Life purpose. Being authentically you. Compassionate. Self-empowerment. Loving life. Trying things you resonate with. Bringing joy to others by being an inspiration. You are amazing. There is no one like you. You are amazing. There is no one like you, and no one can do you as you can. Yet we sometimes feel that we need to be a certain way, a way not aligned with our authentic self. You may feel obliged to be something or someone. You may have stopped doing some of the things you love to do to time or energy restraints. When you make time to do what truly makes you shine each day, you will light up and bring joy to other people's worlds. As you go about your life, you will have a sense of purpose and feel naturally inspired to fulfill your responsibilities. You will also have more energy and love to overflow. Doing what you love can bring so much goodness to our hearts that it filters into other areas of our life. Yet when life is demanding more of us, we give up the things we love to make way for more practical pursuits. When we finally come back to these pursuits, we wonder why we waited. For much of my life, I did not paint as I thought it was self-indulgent. I questioned how doing what I love could be beneficial to others. Now the constant messages of gratitude I receive for anchoring my visions on canvas make me wonder how I ever thought that way. It takes discipline to do what we love, especially if we are natural givers. It's easy to get caught up with other people's lives. There can also be a strong cultural belief that fulfilling a creative need is selfish. The irony here is that tending to our own needs harms none, and we will have a lot more to give. It is time for us to collect our light and shift the vibration here on earth, starting with our inner sense of being. Try those things you have always wanted to explore. Weave enjoyment throughout your day-to-day experience. Find purpose and the inspiration to spring out of bed in the morning. It is time to thrive. Where can you shine your light? When you have a purpose, you also have limitless energy and no joy. When you grow enthusiasm, where can you grow enthusiasm in your life? Consider how you can be more aligned with your passions so you can harness your light. It may be time to return to something you enjoyed, but stop doing for no good reason. You are a sovereign being. Regain compassionate empowerment. And remember what lights up your world. So shine your light with your gifts. Don't feel ashamed by your oddness, by your uniqueness, by your weirdness, okay? There is no good, there is no bad. All right? All is connected to the earth. I am the earth is me. Okay? And to do all of this is healing energy, which is the 4th card, and that number is 30. Healing. Energy rebalance, energetic awareness, healing yourself and others, exploring healing modalities, Reiki, the chakra system, your unique and innate ability to heal, color vibration, soul sovereignty, auras, and the meridian system, aligning to the highest good in optimal health. The Lemurians were well versed in the practice of the healing arts. They were naturally intuitive and accustomed to navigating energetic-based realities. We all have natural healing abilities that are advanced when we deepen our energetic awareness. When we perceive the world beyond our more well-known senses, we start to receive information and wisdom that is different from that which stems from intellect. By tapping into life force consciousness and using this abounding energy alongside focused intention, we find that anything is possible. You may already practice a form of natural healing, but find you sometimes feel quite drained. If this is the case, ensure the energy you are overflowing comes from an infinite stream of abundant universal energy rather than using your own resources. You may want to imagine the brightest, most love-imbued, luminescent light flowing down from the heavens or the center of the universe. And alongside any healing intentions, include the statements for the greatest good. Many healing modalities work with high vibrational energies. It can be wonderful to explore these in conjunction with your current practices. If you haven't done healing work before, but feel called to do so now, follow this instinct. Being able to offer healing to loved ones or yourself is a gift. Exploring the art of energetic healing will significantly increase your psychic sensitivity. Energetic healing is based on the meridian systems of the body. These systems, the chakras, are often depicted as colored wheels of light. Each chakra connects to organs of the body, emotions, and related to characteristics. Emanating from these powerful vortices is the energy field known as the aura. It is possible to train yourself to see the electromagnetic field around the body, and it can be photographed. The appearance of the aura is influenced by the chakras. Muddier or darker colors in the aura might imply some spring cleaning is in order. For more on this text, see the violet flame. Color is how we perceive light frequencies. Every color has a different vibration. Crystals are formed through vibration, and each carries its own frequency. Crystals are often used in spiritual healing because they hold the frequencies to bring the chakra points into balance. Sound healing is another example of this. Immersion in a sound bath experience aligns the brain waves with frequencies conducive to self-healing as well as body and energy wholeness. We feel, hear, and receive the sounds and are organically aligned to the same frequency they resonate at. Many tools can help us restore our centered state of balance and our access to life force power. When we engage them, the benefits will flow on to others. Healing is a path to true empowerment and energetic sovereignty. As we collectively raise our vibrations and wake each other up, we will see massive shifts forward, and old hierarchical foundations will fall away. Extend the margins of your awareness. Revisit the situation in question from a broader perspective or higher vibration with a focus on healing. This will help you decipher what is real, possible ways forward, and whether an issue is really a problem at all. This card can also signify the universal push that inspires you to explore your healing abilities in whatever way that looks to you. Our ancient future. Wisdom from indigenous peoples, ancestors holding the keys for the future. Ancient remembering. Bloodlines. How the past affects the future. A time to step up. Timeless power symbols. Activations for power shifts. Right now, the legends of the Lemurian civilization feel important as the wisdom from this ancient time is relevant. The fall of Lemuria alerts us to the possibility that humanity may face if we live without respect to the earth. An ancient remembering is emerging. Many of the seed crystals and the knowledge they are endued with are becoming unearthed. All those who can see are endued with a becoming unearthed. All those who can see a better future are not just dreaming. Their hearts and minds are hearkening to the core of earth-based traditions. I can't talk. To bring through knowledge that will help shift this paradigm into balance. It is said that the Lemurians who survived the fall traveled the planet and ended up in places where inspiring indigenous knowledge far outweighs what Western minds have come to prioritize. The ancient Egyptians, Mayans, Inca, Thibans, Moras, indigenous Australians, and Hopi are examples. These ancient knowledge keepers of earth and ethers have been holding the key for a new world. We are being called back to our roots, to acknowledge the infinite wisdom available when we drop to our knees in humble receptivity. The more gracefully forward, we must first stand. To move gracefully forward, we must first stand in our power for the places. Ethics and conversation of what matters most. When we heal ourselves, we often heal our ancestors. Also, as illuminated beings ready to make a change in the collective consciousness, we can sometimes take on what seems like more than our fair share of karma. We may be clearing some of the wounds from our ancestors. With this in mind, we can ease through the waves, allowing guidance and empowered perspective to lead us to the greatest good. This card is endued with activations for a new paradigm. You are now being showered with blessings in preparation for your transformation. You are now being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. Partake in activities that help you drop into a meditative state as often as possible. Use clearing tools to raise your vibration and don't get caught up on the destination. Focus on the journey and experience. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by truly being present. Integrity and intuition will be your guide. Self-nurturing, going within, time alone, being present with your feelings, cocooning, before the butterfly, being gentle on yourself, Angelic Embrace. This painting started with the name. I needed a hug, so I painted one. During the creation process, the image underwent a profound transformation that paralleled the journey I was taking deep within myself. This card signifies going inwards and truly being present with wherever you are at in your process. It emits a sense of self-nature and space that is held as a container for our delicate and vulnerable gestation periods. The final image is filled with blessings like an angelic embrace. This care emanates from the being, implying that she is creating it for herself. The most powerful healing from a place of presence and acceptance for all that doesn't try to fix anything or push things away. Feel whatever you need to feel. It may be hard to be present with some parts of yourself. Bring them into a cocoon of gentle self-love and reflection. An insight will come. The shadows can be released. Your heart space will soften. Cry or be angry if this is what you are holding on to, and laugh at the hilarious, ironic, divine perfection of it all. This card beckons you beyond your constructed outer self, where you can delve into the beautiful abyss of your being. Revel in the twilight before the dawn and let your wings unfurl. I'm going to read the last card that's under the deck. Children as teachers, fun, lightheartedness, joy, laughter, newly incarnated souls. The child within, maintaining an inquisitive perspective, wonder, and imagination. Being with children can be a great way to recapture wonder, innocence, unapologetic truth, and wisdom. Their realities are not yet muddied by shoulds or cannots, and their imaginations are often as wild and creative as that they can be our biggest inspirers. Furthermore, as their incarnation from pure spirit is more recent, they are still aware of energy and have a natural psychic awareness. Sometimes adulting can be too serious. When this happens, bringing a childlike, lighthearted sense of play to your perspective can be the most productive way to rebalance. Facing challenging circumstances with inquisitiveness can bring joy to whatever you are accomplishing. Imagine stepping into a child's shoes and seeing how they perceive the world. If you have a problem, consider how a child might solve it. Think back to when you were little and what you loved to do. Remember how the world felt around you and how magical and mysterious things may have been. What's changed? What would you tell the 7-year-old you? The little people of today will be the inventors, creators, and leaders of tomorrow. How can we help nourish their big souls to ready them for an optimal journey through life? Right now, powerful souls are incarnating on Earth to help with the progression of this planet. Right now, powerful souls are incarnating on the Earth to help with the progression of this planet. Right now, powerful souls are incarnating on Earth to help with the progression of this planet. All children are equally special, but some may have different or unique gifts or needs due to their more sensitive or energetic nature. The ways children were brought up in previous generations may not be the best options for today. Humans are evolving, and the children can be our wisest teachers. May we listen to them with our hearts and let their ways unveil fresh new eyes so we may see a whole new world. Bring a sense of play, lightness, and spontaneity to your life. Be inspired by children or your inner child. You are encouraged to add inquisitiveness, fun, and laughter to your reality. This card may signify the presence of a child in your life. Spending time with children will help you experience the world from a fresh perspective and see them as the inspiring teachers they are. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day.